Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is 30 Parks in 30 Days. This edition, we are focusing on the Miami Marlins. And again, I am your host, Mike Redmond, alongside my co-host, Darren Redmond. And how are you doing this fine day?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
Fantastic. Excited. Every day is getting closer to the regular season. And
Pitches and catches are here.
Yeah, pitchers and catchers are here. And we're actually recording this in February. We'll be going Saturday to check out the backfields for the Mets spring training facility. So not going to a game, but just going to check out the backfields and watch them practice. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm very jealous right now.
I think it'll be more fun than a spring training because you can sit right up against the fence and
see what's going on.
So
absolutely, and who looks good and who doesn't. I might be shoveling snow, but feel free to watch spring training as I shovel.
We fast forwarded. We skipped all the seasons and went straight to summer. So we had our January in the 50s, and now we're straight into 89 today. It just skipped.
I love everything about that. I'm a warm weather guy.
Yep. And that number I just told you, 80s or 89, that's probably about 50 more wins than the Marlins are going to have this season, but we'll dive into that.
Wow, that's what the kids call a segue in the business.
Yes, segue into business. So kids at home, those of you watching along with us, we're going to dive into what's left, and I say that purposely, what's left of the Miami Marlins, looking at their roster for this year. And I'm going to start with the key losses because that's a big one, an eye-opener. So you're looking here.
Hey, wait, can I bring something up real quick?
Of course, yeah.
Did I ever tell you about Nashville Tax Solutions?
You know what? You should tell me about them right now before I start blabbing about other stuff.
And listen, and where's our friend this week? Is he like he goes to everything,
I think so. I think he's recovering. I think this is his 1 month where he gets to chill now that football season's over. And, I think maybe he's at the Puppy Bowl. I'm not sure, but
he could be.
He could be. He could be anywhere. Maybe he's resting, but he had a fantastic time. He got to see the Super Bowl. He got to do Shaq's party. He got to do a couple other things while he was out there. And so
I love that. Just living the best life. That's just great. Attention Fort Pierce, attention Palm Bay. You're struggling with tax issues, whether you're behind on filings, dealing with a lien, or just need expert advice. Nashville Tax Solution is here to help. The team knows the ins and the outs of tax relief and is ready to fight for you. So, but don't just take my word for it. Don't just take Mike's word for it. Listen to some of their clients. One wrote in and said, Chris Bennett and his team saved me from a financial nightmare. They were knowledgeable, they were clear, and most of all, they were compassionate. So don't let tax troubles keep you up at night. You call 855-627-4829 or visit NashvilleTaxSolutions.com or even just email info@NashvilleTaxSolutions today. Nashville Tax Solutions, because tax problems deserve a real solution.
I love that. And it is. We are right in the heart of tax season. So I personally have not gotten mine ready together. I'm going to kind of prolong that a little bit longer this year than usual. So as the kids get older, you don't get all the cool benefits as you usually do.
No.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you, Chris. And those watching, we are going to dive into the Miami Marlins here. This is going to be a tough one. It's a tough year if you're a Marlins fan, and not like we don't say that every year, right? But looking at the key pickups the key losses, literally 7 of the 9 positions on the field that started the 2024 season are no longer with the club. We're talking about first base, Josh Bell, gone. Luis Rez, second base, gone. Third base, Jake Berger, gone. Center fielder, Jazz Chisholm, gone. Left fielder, Brian De La Cruz, gone. Shortstop, Tim Anderson, gone. DH, Avisail Garcia, gone. They didn't want any of them anymore. So only 2 holdouts from 2024 remain in this Marlins lineup, if you can call it that. But Darren, this isn't the first time with the Miami Marlins. We go back to the Florida Marlin days when they would win a championship and still lose everybody on their roster. Why do you think we're still here in 2025 with with this nonsense of just dumpage of what those are some good names. And I know Tim Anderson and Pan out and stuff, but why is this rinse repeat with the Marlins every single year?
Because, for lack of a better term, they get away with it. They've done this now 3 different times. And it's really sad for a variety of reasons. Baseball is a sport that should be embraced by Miami. And it has. We've seen that place full. When they used to play in that horrible stadium, what they played, Joe Robbie or wherever they played. But it just seems like the ownership there, even though they have new owners right now, are either willfully negligent or don't know what they're doing. Let's build a big statue. Let's put it inside, but no, let's put it outside. Let's have fish tanks. Let's take out the fish tanks. Let's go green. No, we're not going to go green. But with Florida, no, with Miami, I don't know what we are. And it's sad. It's sad because if you think about it, if the demographic that you're looking for are those people who really love baseball, plus younger people learning baseball, Miami should be a home run, and it's not. And it is terrible what they do there and how they disrespect the game and the fan base.
Yeah, and it's a team with no identity, and that's unfortunate. And there were a couple times where they started to have that identity. And I mean, we're talking about a team that did make playoffs 2 years ago, so this is like a team that hasn't sniffed the playoffs. So, but to see so much talent come and go, it's just sad. And so, but we're looking trying to be on the positive front. I'll read this over those of you watching. This is the projected opening day lineup for the Marlins. We got Xavier Edwards leading off, Connor Norby, Jonah Bride, 3 names that most people don't even know play the sport. Jesus Sanchez, Dane Myers, Matt Mervis, Otto Lopez, Kyle Stowers, and Nick Fortes.
Well, did you know that Nick Fortes wears a name tag to his own house because they don't even know him there?
Right. Yeah, it's true, guys. We're not making this up. We're not trying to get laughs.
Yeah.
This is all true information. And no disrespect to any of those names, but
no, listen, they're wonderful people, probably great players, best players that if they lived in our neighborhood, they'd be the best players we've ever seen.
Yes. So, and then we look at that starting rotation. You got your ace, Sandy Alcantara, of course, Ryan Weathers, Edward Cabrera, Carl Cantrell, and Max Meyer. Yuri Perez, which is a guy that I believe is part of that identity that they started to have, won't be back until mid-season. He was a promising young talent. So if he can come back to form, and Sandy, they got a couple guys there. But this is a team that, and Darren, I'd like to get your thoughts that I do not see any reason why we're going to see a jump in a 5th place finish once again. I believe last year they finished 62 and 100. So if I'm talking third person, Mike's official pick for 2025 is another 5th place finish, finishing at 59 wins and 103 losses. So they're going even further into the gutter. Unfortunately, don't see an end in sight. But if you want to share your thoughts, similar, where you feel like they're going to fall.
They and I love what you said earlier about kind of wash, rinse, repeat. That's who they are right now. So every couple of years, they're going to have a nice, surprising team that may eke into a wild card. And then when they start to actually potentially make real money, they're going to trade them all away for prospects. You wait 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and then they're going to hit the wild card again. And that's what they're doing. They're taking advantage of the revenue sharing that's out there to still make money. And it's terrible. I mean, I want to go back to the fact that, Jez Chisholm, for example, this guy was a stud. Goes to the Yankees. What did he do?
Mm-hmm.
He was ready. He was ready for the limelight. These are great. These are all wonderful players that can give a lot of enjoyment to the fan base. And it's just nothing. It's like a mausoleum. Libraries laugh at how quiet that stadium is. It's dark. It's quiet. I'm being very serious, Mike. What's their identity?
Yeah, There is none. It's it's basically just thrown together, and you can talk about that in pickups. I mean, they have 2 pickups, and both pickups were recent. Like, they were going into mid-January having absolutely not signed anybody. They just
Right.
released everyone and didn't make any moves. Eric Wagaman and Cal Quantrill are the only all-season pickups. So that tells me there's no urgency in there whatsoever. And why would anyone, take a look at this team as a destination that they would want to be part of?
Eric Wagaman sounds like Walgreens. So there you go.
Yep. And by the way, guys, I mentioned the 7 starting position players. 3 of their 5 rotation guys, Jesus Luzardo, AJ Puck, Trevor Rogers, have all departed as well. So there's more people that have left the team that are staying on the roster. So that's never, a key to success. And go ahead.
What could the league do?
I mean, the trade deadline thing, I don't know. I feel like that's part of it, because like you have guys that were like a Brian De La Cruz and a Chaz Chisholm, like they were part of this identity that they could have had, and they didn't hold on to them. But I don't know, maybe a trade deadline date change, capping the amount of the amount of trades that can go down in that last day, where it's just, here you go, here's everybody.
Yeah. I don't know if they could hold back revenue sharing if you just purposely just spit the bit. And for those of you who don't know, the term spit the bit is when a thoroughbred is running and they take the bridle out of their own mouth. They're like, I'm done. And that's what they just quit. They just, it's sad. And we'll talk about, say, the White Sox, right? And we'll talk about some of these other teams that struggle. And they're anemic, but they look like they try. They really do. They look like they try. They're just inept, not very talented, but they try. The Marlins just looks like purposely sabotaging their own team.
Yeah, and this is a team that is 21st in the 2025 minor league farm system ranking, and that's up from 27th in 2023. So if you're a team that's in the gutter and your farm system is in the gutter, then it's really going to be a challenge. And that's why we're so hard on the Miami Marlins, because this is a team that hasn't sniffed the top 10 or top 19 in a farm system since all the way back in 2021. So shame on them. Their top prospect is Thomas White, left-handed pitcher. And you may not have heard of him because he'll probably wind up on another team before he even sniffs the major leagues with the Marlins. So if you have his baseball card, go ahead and white out Miami right now and put somebody else in there. So yes. I know we're being a little hard on them, but they deserve it. We're holding them accountable.
Yeah, they do. Like, look, the way that the MLB is structured right now is, it used to be, right, when you and I were young, that, you had to either win the division or there was like one wild card for you to get. And it would be really daunting to say to the Marlins, oh, get past, the Mets, get past the Braves, get past the, the Phillies. But all they need to do is get into one of those top 7 spots in the National League.
That's it. Yep.
And they're not even trying.
Nope. If you're going to phone it in on July 31st, that's one thing, but we're phoning it in February 13th. So, but thanks again, guys, everyone, for joining us here on this episode here of 30 Parks in 30 Days, Miami Marlins.
We motivated a lot of people tonight, didn't we?
Yes, they are excited. They are Marlins merch is flying off the shelves.
Yes.
Marlin fans, better luck next year. Season's over. Until next time, we'll see you around the ballpark.